But it is important to be recognized as a brand. We're actually working in a market right now where they want to, they want to brand with us because they need to advertise, and they'll do that through us. They need to do that because they feel consolidation is kind of like, oh, the names of all those consolidators are around. They need to get a name that's bigger than themselves. Right. Or there are 2 stores, or some have 3 stores. So we're actually working with a market right now that wants to do that. And, that's our ideal model. That's why we exist, to help the shops be recognized. And so that's an important aspect of what we do.
Yeah, it gives you some solidarity when especially when we're competing. And I say we, because I often, I work with, independents, and we are competing with all of these big consolidators, really. And even when I owned my own shop and the recession hit, I was like, okay, well, something's got to change. I have to do something. I was looking into joining like a fix specifically so that I would still be able to maintain my integrity of my shop, but be part of something bigger, because especially when you're up against these big boys, you're just trying to do it all on your own, and you can't sometimes, and you don't have the buying power. You can't get the massive discounts, and then trying to get some of the insurance contracts. And especially now with the OE certs, being able to participate with an organization that allows you to kind of get in, because we know some of the consolidators are in bed with some of these guys. So how do you compete with that? Well, this is a way that allows you to compete, but still maintain your own individual business, which is huge.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when we built our model, and I know that that's not the topic, but when we built our model, we call it corporate level support for an independent business owner. So in other words, whatever a consolidator, like if you run a location for a consolidator and you need a tech, you don't go online and do some ads you tell corporate, right? And then recruiting goes out. So we have a recruiting department. We have national group health insurance in all 50 states, which is a reduced rate compared to what they're paying now. And it's got a complete 401k and payroll package that goes, it's kind of like an HR management package with everything built into it. So the employees all get all their information on an app. We do the marketing, we do the operations management. We have strategic partnerships with many major vendors and suppliers to the industry. So we go out and make all those deals. Between Canada and the US, we have 240 locations and 38 people on corporate staff. That allows us to do all the stuff that the shop owner, if the shop owner can fix recs and collect checks and not worry about all these other things that they got to be responsible for trying to figure out, and we can bring it to them, that allows them to go home earlier at night, maybe take some more time off, not be there on Saturdays, and just really, let us do all that work. The folks on our end love doing that stuff, and we do it on a large scale. So we're, actually gotten quite good at it over the years. So, they join us, and they have many strategic relationships when they affiliate with us.
Yes. So. Yeah, that's really neat. Well, and it's interesting that you have so many people on staff. So we're talking about comparing office staff to technicians. You have a massive office staff, if you want to call it, and then you compared to the amount of shops that you have, but you really need that support staff, especially when you're growing.
Yep. And everybody's a specialist. It's like the bigger body shop, right? You're going to have a couple frame only technicians. You're going to have a mechanical technician or two, and maybe even 3 in some of the bigger stores. And everybody becomes a specialist. Whereas the smaller the business is, everybody has to be more of a generalist. And when you're a generalist, you can't be out. You can still be really, really good. Yeah. But it's really hard to be the master of everything, right? So.
That's right. Well, this is awesome. I think you've given some great information, some wonderful statistics that all shops should be looking at. And like you said, every day, at least once a day, to be looking at these things, to track where you're at, know what those numbers are, what those numbers mean, so that you can then go communicate them with somebody else, especially for shops that are trying to grow and bring on new DRPs, to bring on new OE contracts and that kind of thing. So many shops don't know. They just don't. And they don't even know where to begin. And it breaks my heart for them, because they're they're doing fine. They're comfortable. They're cashing their checks and they're able to pay payroll. So they feel like they're good. But imagine how much better you could be. They don't even know because they're not even tracking it. It's kind of wild.
And it's funny, Mickey, I would say the highest performing in all categories shop in our network. He is the most hungriest for the next thing. I mean, he spends a lot of time with us on the phone. Okay, but I know it can be better than that. And, it's like, but you already are acing everything and you're like the super rock star. How can it even be better, But,
yes.
And then, the really poor performers, they don't know that they don't know.
That's right. That's exactly right. Until you start looking at those, you don't know.
Nikki, one of the highest impact things that we've found is when we invite shops to tour one of our shops. We invite all the shops in our network to come and they'll spend a day. They come in and they'll fly in the night before. We'll have dinner or something in the morning. Yeah. The shop owner will give a tour of his place and show all his unique methods and processes and equipment that he may have. And it's a day-long learning session. And when you can take a shop owner out of his shop and take him somewhere else for a day and show him how someone else does it, it's almost like, the bee going from flower to flower, getting pollen, right? Yeah. You pick stuff up and, when we went to Bill's, he showed us how he can paint cars and he doesn't have to polish them when they're done. You want to increase cycle time and all your numbers, paint a car and it goes out 100% like a factory finish without using a polisher.
Wow.
And we have a guy in our network who does that.
Wow.
And we love to put tours through his shop, and nobody believes it. When they hear that, they think I just tell them a story. Yeah. Say, I invite you to come to the Midwest and I will take you to his shop. I don't want to embarrass him because he's, but anyway, we also have another guy up in Minnesota who just produces these numbers that are, they're not even believable. So you have to go there and see how they do it. And then when you do, it's like, you are like a genius. Yeah. You are absolutely a genius in how you operate. And you'll see 3 guys at once working on one car.
Oh, wow.
All in different areas. Yeah. And they're coordinated like a pit crew on a race team. Oh, right. Wow. When that car comes in, they jump all over that car and one guy's underneath this guy's arm. And, you watch that and you go, that is amazing. You talk about a high touch time, low cycle time. Yeah. Those guys kind of figured out better than anybody, but it's just figure it out.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And usually it's shops like that get rewarded with more volume because everybody wants to do business with them. Because when those claims adjusters, show shops that are in their group and they got a couple of superstars in there, it's like, see, I'm doing a good job. So everybody wants to win.
That's right. Well, when I owned my shop, that's how I learned, was going to other people's shops to see what they were doing. Because, again, you don't know what you don't know. And then you go and see what other guys are doing. You're like, holy cow, why didn't I think of that? Or wow, I would have never thought of that, but you don't. So what a great opportunity that you guys have for your shops in your group. That's so cool. Well, thank you guys. We'll wrap it up for today. For all the information, it will be down in the description. If anybody's interested in 1Collision or wanted to ask these guys questions, feel free to reach out. Again, information in the description. Thank you all for joining another episode of Body Bangin'.
If you enjoyed today's show, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We have some incredible topics and guests coming your way you will not want to miss. If you are watching on YouTube and don't want to miss the latest and greatest, you'll want to hit the bell after subscribing, so you will get a pop-up each time a video podcast goes live. To our devoted fans, would you mind paying it forward and sharing this little gem with someone else you think may benefit from it? Much love from all of us here at Body Bangin', all things auto body.